The living room, where the family meets to discuss issues, any issue which may be bothering one of the family members. That's what we do each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM with Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868. We have casual conversations on serious topics, from sports to culture, mental health to economics, relationships to life lessons. Join us each and every Tuesday on WAC 90.1 FM. The Living Room, casual conversations on serious topics.
It is currently a couple minutes after 6 p.m. here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't know what time it is where you are, but as I said last week, it's time to get Ricardo a watch.
How about watching?
You should wear it.
All right. When you pass to drop the roti for me, I'll get you the watch so you could carry it to get the band short.
You are locked into the True Nation station WACK 90.1 FM, where we are
Culture Crazy.
Let's kick it off as we always do, please, because I feel like the country needs some prayers right now. Right? We must give thanks and praises to the Almighty for granting us the gift of life and seeing another day. No matter what time of day it is, you must always
give thanks.
Secondly, must say thank you to those that went before us, not just the ancestors, but to Tony P. And the P. I could take the P this week.
Yeah, all yours.
The P all this yours. Week stands for predicament.
You're on me. We've had a very interesting weekend and couple days. It's only Tuesday.
Dread. This is where we going before we introduce ourselves before we get to that predicament.
Correct, is right.
This is yours truly, DJ Aaron 868. I'm always great and I am never late, alongside my bro with no fro,
Ricardo Mitchell, the social stage on the local stage.
And you are inside the living room.
Yeah. Well, we have a very, I can't even say action-packed. This episode coming across more like a documentary or a biopic. Yes, we have a real nice episode ahead, and that we will cross that bridge when we get to it. Aaron, what are those? What is going on? What happening to Trinidad?
Now, again, I don't know if you saw the video circulating on social media about the state of affairs in the Beatum, where the sewers overfilling and passing in front of persons' houses and stuff like that. No matter what part of the country is, no matter what part of the world that is unacceptable.
Correct is right. Right. So let me not run off hot and sweaty about the reaction to an unacceptable situation.
Right. It is unacceptable. Whoever is the authority that needs to fix that, fix it like last week.
Hey. Anyway, you know what? When you treat people with a lack of dignity, you cannot expect dignified responses.
Exactly. And I gather from sources on the ground that has been going on a while. So whoever needs to fix it, fix it.
You see, you could have fixed it quiet, but now it gets to this point. Yeah. It gets to this point. Don't know if you saw the other series of videos and
the Wild West. The Wild West. We're going straight to the Churchill Roosevelt Highway. We're going straight.
What is going on?
I don't know, but I'm not going to lie. I saw the video with the man running up his shoulder.
Bro, have some form though.
Yeah, boy.
To quote a friend from a WhatsApp group, they say that is untapped talent, that is undeveloped talent, because the form, anyway, you know what?
Yeah, boy. But again, what is going on in our sweet Trinidad and Tobago?
It kind of scary that the reaction to seeing police chasing a man up the highway in standstill traffic with guns ready. No. I understand that. I understand that particular scenario you're filming, because if it wasn't for people filming, we would not get footage of that incident that happened in Brazil, right? With the rock share and the boating accident now. Right? What I'm saying is filming is a part of the thing. What we Wild Western about what could have been a very, well, it was dangerous, but what could have been a very, very different story, right?
Yeah,
The
boy.
incredulity of that particular series of events, right? And then again, too, there was an accident where a vehicle crossed the median yesterday.
Yeah,
Right?
boy.
A good friend of mine.
Well, that was Sunday. That was Sunday.
Sunday, sorry. A good friend of mine, his vehicle, he had to swerve out of the way of that oncoming vehicle, mindful of the vehicle coming up behind him. So he was.
Well, I saw his wife, I think, post a picture on Instagram at how close they were from disaster.
What I'm saying is
And let me add to that, Ricardo. You talking about the highway? Let me show you something that happened on Pero Street on Sunday morning. I drove out from a car wash.
A car wash.
A car wash that will remain unnamed. Right? And proceeded to turn left to go down Pero Street. And approaching Maritime, I see a silver vehicle coming straight at me. And this is at 9 o'clock in the morning.
They say coming at you. That means they're driving
straight.
Driving
coming up Pero and coming on my
side of the road.
Yeah. Hit the culvert. Bust his tire. Pull over, stop. And I now panicking because let me make sure homeboy all right. Make a turn in the road to go and check on him. And homeboy jump out his car, watch the tire bust, jump back in and drive up Pero Street on the flat. What is going on in our country?
No, I counting that as the wipe your foot segment, huh? I just put it out there.
We had a real thing to wipe your feet on. But to hang, I want to hang my hat really quickly. West Indies won on Sunday.
Despite your text message about if I see what the score is and what kind of fan I go make. But
right, cool. No, okay, I wasn't watching the game. That I want to ask that question. Anyhow, also I want to hang my hat on all these soca artists right now and calypsonians and chutney artists that are continuing to create. Right?
Yeah.
And
I want to hang my hat to something I see circulating. Apparently, the Tobago House of Assembly is taking steps to address the archaic and colonial dress code.
Yeah, so I saw that.
I hang in my hat for that, because
Trinidad needs to follow suit.
Come now, man. I think it is absurd that I can't renew my driver's license while wearing sandals. What? Come on, man. I'm not saying of course you could walk in anyhow, but what I'm saying is that the dress code as it exists, as it's so eloquently put in these hastily scribbled signs. Come on, man. Come on. I 2 rounds of applause. 2 rounds of applause for starting to address that kind of thing.
We had to give credit where credit is due. Right? So well done to the THA and Ansel Farley. Right, well done, guys. Now we down to the real issue here. So this evening we are joined by a son of the soil. If it was a boxing match, we would say he hails from Palm East. If it was a calypso tent, we would say this is his first foray into the scene. If this was 1993, we would say this is his first road march. But he didn't sing it.
He ain't sung like a son. He ain't sung like a son of the soil again. He's not sung like a father of the soil.
Right?
Listen, we trying to summarize our guests in a bio is injustice.
Yeah. So Ricardo, let him in from the mezzanine.
Well, I mean, technically, you own the building, so.
Lord, but you just give it away. We are tonight joined by cultural royalty as advertised.
So
that's the best way to describe our guest.
Oh, the guest?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool.
Oh, you thought it was you, Ricardo?
Yeah, for a second, I say you're change your ways. You know, you see your value.
Yeah. You see your value. I thought so too.
All right, nice one.
No. Right?
Sorry. Let me actively listen. Mm-hmm.
Right. And if you have not made out the strange voice inside the living room, you are clearly living under a rock. This is a voice you have probably heard in over how much shows have you done so far? Probably 150 plus?
220.
Wow. That is the voice that you have heard in 219 shows. Because I hosted one and the people were calling for that voice to come.
They want the godson when they want to deal with the godfather.
Yeah, apparently. Right? Inside with us this evening is none other than Mr. KMP. Mr. Kenrick. No, I'm saying correctly. Mr. Kennedy. No, wrong name again. Mr. Kenny Phillips.
Hi, thank you all for having me here. I know it's going to be a dotish night.
Not as dotish as the dotish hour.
Boy.
So, I'd planned on being as quiet as possible because the two of you all have a dynamic that I'll be frank with you, I'm a little intimidated by. The dynamic, dynamic that Aaron and I have is one thing, but seeing you guys work together is like an opportunity for me to take notes now, so I could learn ways how to rein him in and bring him back. Because he does just take off sometimes.
Yeah. Is that a rein him in? Yeah. You little whileish. Yeah, something.
Yeah, something.
No, we're not talking height. We're talking.
Oh yes.
So this is the level of abuse I decided to go through sometimes, right?
No. It have a technique. It's hit first. Don't allow it to be. You don't get it first lash. Hit first. Okay. And have him on the back foot. So then you have him. You can deal with it from there. Cool.
I really hear Aaron say that you shave and clean up so we ain't gonna see how much gray hair you have, but.
Serious? I didn't. Clearly didn't, no.
So for the purposes of the conversation, we go in with Kenny, we go in with Sir, we go in with Mr. Phillips. I normally refer to you as Aaron Godfather, but I think that's too long a title to keep calling it by for the entire program.
No, you really want to get the wrong side of it if you do that. My name is Kenny Phillips, all right? Kenny. It's not Kenrick, it's not Kennedy, it's Kenny Phillips, all right? That's some people who went to the wrong school, and no matter what you tell them, it just don't make sense, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Damian.
Lord.
So before we get down to the meat of today's discussion, there's one question that we ask all of our guests once they step foot inside the living room. And we're not asking you, where's the scene, brethren? Or what going on, Dada? How are you, Kenny?
I'm good. I'm fine. Physically fine. Mentally, it's a tough time. When you see your peers falling down around you.
Yeah,
it's a tough time. Real tough. I was in a funeral when I got the message about Kenny G passing. And you were there. He was by us just a few days before. And to know that it's just like, oops, and you're gone. Yeah, man. And then Bomber, Kenny G, I had Loveman Kent from Canada, and now Clive Zander.
Yeah.
I mean, what? And these are the famous ones. Mm-hmm. So, the time is, wow. You know that today I got a scare. A a radio station decided to play tribute to Black Stalin, right? In their wisdom, they thought that they should play all Black Stalin songs. From the time you play 4 Black Stalin songs, people think he passed.
Yeah.
And my phone started to ring, and I'm like, why are they calling me? So I had to pick up the phone and call him and Nursey to say, and from the time Nursey answered the phone 10 o'clock this morning and say good night, I said, okay, I good, I gone. Because I know everything good, right? But I mean, you realize that we're not accustomed to paying tribute. And we are accustomed paying tribute when people pass. And anyway, I don't want to carry me down a particular road. Or lead the show, please. I will carry you. I will carry you if you allow me. So do
no, well, I'm glad you brought that up there, Kenny, because that is something that all 3 of us here know that I'm very passionate about. Mm-hmm. That we pay tribute to our artists while they're still alive to smell the roses.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, Aaron, we came up with that idea in the station Friday night.
Yeah.
It was a Friday night, and you came with one of your trademark Aaron wild ideas and say you want to start to do a tribute 30, right? Where you played 30 minutes of a living artist because you wanted to recognize the contribution while they were still here.
Yeah.
Right. And after that, you took off with it, and now apparently people emulating the thing without properly letting the people know that is a living tribute.
Yeah, boy. So, and you know, and beside you talking about Stalin there, I saw an article in, I think, the Express that they had to say that Scrunter was still alive.
Yeah. I mean, we always killing out the artists.
How much time we killed Baron last year?
Oh Lord, boy. Baron had more lives than a cat.
No, I'm glad we reached that vein of the conversation, because it says a lot about our culture, right? And one of the pet peeves I have is the fact that we try to confine our culture to the 6-week or the 8-week or the 10-week period before.
Marvel's tune. I don't know if you know it. Marvelous tune.
No, I'm not.
5 weeks and salt.
I'll look for that.
That's here now. 5 weeks as a star, and when it get done, it's 5 weeks and salt till next year again.
Now, since we'll use that as the name, the 5 weeks and salt mentality. How are we gonna break that?
I was the vice president of CUT for a few years. 3, 4, 5 years or something like that. I was the acting president of Riot when we marched the road for 50% local airplay. Right? I was a director on the Trinidad and Tobago Entertainment Company as well. And all these roles and functions was for getting moving forward with the culture and the music and whatnot, right? Being the acting president of Riot, we found that the percentage, and being on the board of CUT, the percentage of local airplay in Trinidad has always been under 4% for the whole year. Even though at carnival time, we playing Kaiso and Soca and thing whole day for 5 weeks, right? For 5 weeks. But at the end of the year, the royalty money of, if we make $100 in royalties in Trinidad and Tobago, $4 staying in Trinidad, and 96% leaving the country. And it
no pun intended.
Yeah, pun intended. Right? I didn't say 0.1 or anything like that, but but it's the truth. It's 4% staying. right? And that's how it has been. That's how it has been for years. And so we decided, look, enough was enough. This was in the year 2000, somewhere around there, 2000, 2002. We had about 3 matches. We decided enough is enough. We want to lobby the then government. We took a letter to Ramesh Maharaj. We dropped off a letter to 96.1. You know, we had a rally. It was a rally, and we went from Woodford Square down Frederick Street, down. We had a nice time, and we were singing the Fosto. Everybody was there. Everybody came out, and we marched. I wear out some shoe heel, and we marched. Brother man, this is my memory of this march. We marched. We were forced to be reckoned with. We marched. We reached down to, we went up wherever St. Vincent Street, I don't know the name of the street. We drop off a letter to the Attorney General saying we want legislation for 50% local airplay. Just like Australia, just like Canada, just like everywhere else in the world, to ensure our culture could grow and has the right nurturing ground, right? Drop off the letter. Then we went and dropped a letter to 96.1. And all the actions you see me doing today is because of dropping this letter to 96.1. I am doing what I'm doing. Okay? Understand me. We walked down 96.1. I think it was right after the roundabout by Roxy there. Right? And to drop the letter, I was the acting president. I was the man in front. That big banner and everybody holding banner. I don't know if you've seen any of the pictures on it. And I took the letter to the radio station. And when I looked back behind me for my force of people, you understand, who we marched all the road. And when I reached the 96, I was the #1 radio station. And we said, if they only do give of a percentage, it will change everything. And when I delivered that letter and look back behind me to see who is my soldiers behind me, I alone walk that road and give that letter. All my soldiers who march stay back by the roundabout. And let me tell you something, and I can tell you, and it's not rumor, this, from me dropping off that letter, I was blacklisted. Don't ever play any of that fella's music again on the #1 radio station in the country. Right? And it wasn't even a secret. It's like, you drop letter for we, your music will never play again. And how do you tell a taxi driver? You tell a taxi driver whose job is to pick up passengers and drive the road that you cannot use this road anymore. If you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I had to now navigate and survive that time. And it's not to say that I want to use your tongue, or but I know Oli wouldn't edit it. You would edit it out.
Cool, right? Is your station? I remember that.
Yeah. I appreciate the voter confidence.
Yeah. No, I mean, if anybody had above I had above me.
Correct is right.
It's not to say that I was, like, a pipsqueak. I had road marches. I had hits. I had, I have credentials. So you can't say, well, he ain't really good and he can't play. I have hits. Cool? So then for you to now blacklist a man who has won the road march and comes second in road march 12 times, you understand me? says a lot. Okay?
So if I could, this is blacklisting your music not just as a performer, but anything.
Performer? I wasn't a performer.
Right, exactly. So anything
remember he now started singing.
You
you
would
know
call
what?
it.
I
You
mean,
could call it singing.
You were using words all how, but you know
Yeah,
what?
but
So this means like any work that you are part of the production, anything like
what's
that.
my name on it? What's my name on it?
Water from the poison well. So now that means even other people don't want to work with you because it means.
Let me tell you something. Right in that year, Preacher came to me. Me and Preacher was a team. We had a lot of hits. We had a lot of hits for everybody. Spice, Arrow, you name it, we had hits with them, right? People used to leave the Caribbean islands and come down by us just to do songs. Byron Lee. Oh God, the list is too long, right? And I'm saying this Preacher come with a song and the song bad. I said, Preacher, that song too bad, boy. But if you do this song, it's not going to play. So go by Leston and do it. And you know what that song was? Abu Bakr take over, ding dong. Abu Bakr take over. You understand? And I sent him. You understand what I'm saying? I navigated them waters of no airplay for Kenny Phillips for years. I started to produce in the background with KMC. KMC used to kind of produce, but he wasn't a full-fledged musician, but he had real vibes and he knew what he was doing. He used to write real songs and things. But I was the engineer in the background. All them Soul on Fire that was on the Australian charts and blah, 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 blah. I was in the background. And that is how I survived for years, just being in the background. You remember, I was the Kenny Phillips who used to have the greens that sometimes had 20,000 people on the greens. Right? So I'm saying to say, I understand the struggle. If that happened to me, right? Far less for a artist who ain't have a structure behind him, who just have a song. He ain't have a fight. He have nothing to fight with, right? And I have fast forward now and lived to see the day with some of the same people who blacklisted me walk up the steps of WAC for airplay. And I greet them like, yo, what happening? All right. No, because I can't do you the same thing you do me. I wouldn't be any better. You understand? It takes a lot. It takes a lot to do that, but I did it. I do it.
You know, like Ricardo, when the Prime Minister had the press conference the Thursday, and we were talking about how he just spoke. And we summed it up as who have ears here.
Yeah.
You all need to pay careful attention to what Kenny is saying tonight, because he may not directly answer the question with a yes or no. But you see that answer he just gave there? Totally summed up why we have this problem today.
There are two things I want to touch on very, very quickly with what it is running through my head right now. The first one is that when you're listening for something, it is tend to stop listening to. So for anybody who was listening for a specific answer, they may not have gotten what it is they wanted to hear, but the things that you said, it was a wealth of context in that. And secondly, the thing that hurts me is that there's a very real possibility, because you had to work uncredited and off the books for so long, that you might actually have a roster of uncredited work that goes as deep or deeper than your credited work.
Well, so be it. You know, you can't change that. You know what I mean? You can't change that. We've gotten past that.
Okay.
Right? So I'm saying that is why I applied for a radio license. That is why it took me a little while to get it. through the help of Joan Newell Williams, she ensured that, and the license came at a time where the country, she could not change the law to make it 50%, right? They didn't want to. The powers that be could not change it because the business community, I don't know if you all know that I was told that we wouldn't last 1 year, right? The business community doesn't believe that local content could sustain us.
I have my reservations about that, about why the business community uninterested in a rich oral history of the activities, but let me not put my mouth in people think.
Please don't.
The business, I was told by the president of the TTPBA, the Trinidad and Tobago Publishers and Broadcasters at the time, you think that people want to hear this local music, you have to be a wacko. And he was a Caucasian man, which made it worse. Right? You done mashing me down into the ground already. And you're Caucasian too. Oh God, leave me with my little culture, my little tokali, and let me enjoy myself now. But you're mashing me down in the ground and telling me you're not good, you will never be good, nobody wants to hear you, your radio station is not going to last 1 year. And you're telling me this unapologetically, you know. Kenny Phillips, you think people want to hear that local music after Carnival? No. Nobody wants to go on in a grocery to calypso and soca music. You don't see how the people begin on at Carnival time. You don't understand that this is our culture. Nobody wants to hear that. Your station is not going to last 1 year. I said, all right, you have to be a wacko to think people want to hear this. And I say, wacko. Okay, all right. WACK. We are culture crazy. And every time I call a name, I remember this man, and it gives me more to make sure. And fast forward again, because we didn't have the time to go through all this. Fast forward.
Yeah, last time we interviewed you, we ended up running 2 hours plus.
2 hours, yeah. but they I ask, sir.
Yeah.
Since your partner from the Dotish Hour not here, we could run a little over tonight.
Yeah, man. No problem. My partner from the Dotish Hour had nothing to do with this. We talking sense here.
No, remember, he doesn't normally come after with the big man. So I just want to make sure to not step on any toes.
You'll call him and talk to him now. Right?
Real good.
No gift Godfather alone, please.
So,
before I continue, Kenny, this man, Ricardo, asking for a brown envelope from Desmond about 3 months now, right? A brown envelope. You're supposed to know what is being the brown envelope.
No, not from Desmond.
I'm not going to say this is the same Mr. Desmond who does only donate when it's the vote.
So anyway, so I fast forwarding from my partner from the man who say it's not going to last 1 year. And just recently, the Telecommunications Authority said that we have to move the frequency. About half of the radio stations have to move the frequency. So 90.1 might be 90.3. And then you add 4. So whoever coming after 90.5 might be 90.7. 7 and 4. So 91.1 would stay. 1 and 4 is 91.5 should stay. 5 and 4, so 91.9 might stay. And you understand? So you're adding 4 because the band was messed up. You know, it have different numbers in between and it crossing, and so they're trying to even out the band. The powers that be decided, no, we say years building our brand and building our number. So you can't just come just change it. So we are going to protest. we are going to march. We are going to go to our lawyers. We are going, and I was just in a meeting, and the same man turned to me, Kenny Phillips, I hope you have your lawyer shoes. I hope you have your thing for the protest, because we are going to protest, I said, you talking to me? It's me you do it? Moi? I good. You don't want me here. You didn't want me here. What are you turning to me for now? You understand?
Wow.
Not me, brother. You're on your own.
Wow.
Very good.
So I am not even a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Publishers and Broadcasters. You understand? So they can do what they want. I do what I want.
So this rebellious behavior that Iran has been exhibiting for how long now? 5 years, 7 years? How long you in this thing, Iran?
Surprisingly, 7 years.
So this 7 years of rebellion, I could understand where you take root now.
I learn from the best.
No. No. I am not a rebel without a cause. I'm a rebel with a cause.
All right. Now, I'm glad we started off with that vein of history and understanding our culture and why it has been and continues to an extent be suppressed, even oppressed. For
once you're not depressed, but go on.
No, well, the fact that some of our artists have not performed in 2 years will have some of them depressed. Right? But we want to get down now to something a little more upbeat.
You know what? I agree with you. And I'm not hijacking your pointer, but we're not the kind of conversation where we just bashing and we're not looking to address. So I like that you're swinging it from how we get here to where we going.
Right.
Well done.
And now at 129C Coffee Street in San Fernando, it has the only stage that has been created and continues to exist during this, as the young people they say, panini.
Panini?
Yeah, it is just called any random P word instead of saying pandemic. Ask Kyle about that, right?
Okay.
Look like they're dodging the algorithms now.
Yeah. Right? So what made you decide to say, hey, I am going to have a stage where artists could come and perform?
It happened by happenstance, Mind you, we were always recording, we were always doing tents and pan and always. Since 2000, we started recording stuff with our Sony Handycam. All right? Cohen's brother, Sherwin, sent down a Handycam for me. Right? That is how long we started. Cool? Yeah, Sony Handycam, right? You understand?
Ricardo, you could pop it, yeah.
I'll put one. It might be a black and white picture, but
No, it wouldn't be a black and white picture, but that's how we started, right? And so we've always been recording and improving and trying. We started doing pan way back in the day. 2005, I think, was the first pan albums, and because everybody does say, oh God, my band win, but they get teeth and da 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 da. We say, okay, here what? We put up 2 microphones and we say, you be the judge. And that was the first pan album that I did with Pan Trindigo. You be the judge, and it was small, medium, and large, right? And because it was plenty bands and it was double albums and all kind of things. So we were always recording and archiving and, So I was saying all that to say that when the pandemic hit, we already had a lot of archives under our belt. A lot. In fact, it's so much that I can't even get to upload it onto the system because it's so much. You understand? It's a lot. So I had to find a way of how to do it, how to get it happening. So saying that to say now, a man told me about Fund Me TNT, and I saw it. Nice idea. The Trini guy who did the website, a guy named Sheldon. Nice. Okay. How do we see how this could work? And my daughter's partner on a Sunday, he and I always shooting out tune for tune. And, I allow him to win, because I don't want him to get depressed.
He just cheat.
Well, I allow him, he's changing categories in the middle of a song. You understand? Things like that now. And he has his following and it's be fun. Right? It'll be real fun. So we decided that Sunday, let's do the donation thing with the Fund Me TNT. So because everybody just call and say, that ain't good. So okay. Put your money where your mouth is. Do a little $5, do a little dollar, do whatever you could. Contribute. And in that 12 to 2 segment, we raised 11,000 TT dollars just for playing tunes. And the light bulb went up, ding, 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 ding. Wait, we ain't really doing nothing here. We just playing the fool. But it was entertaining because, contrary to popular belief that show is the most popular show on the radio station, and I'm sorry to burst to all the bubble, cut to all the beard.
All start before us too. So
I'm not gonna say
we go close the gap and God willing, it might take a 10 or 20, but we go catch all them.
10 or 20 decades. Anyway, moving on. So we raised $11,000 in that space of time. And the light bulbs went off and said, well, okay. And I was at the lockdown. The lockdown started. And we say, well, okay, people can't come out. The first show we did was Terry Lyons. And she didn't even want to come. So we did it in her manager's house in Shogunas, in Roystonia or somewhere, Set up the stage there and keyboard player, Terry, and she did all kind of songs. And Terry raised in an hour and 15 minutes, $22,000 to $24,000 in contributions. And of course we say, okay. Right. We have something.
Yeah.
So immediately I went to my partner printer. I said, listen, I need, them curtains that have by Sapa and thing when the curtain closed. I need a picture of that to put up, and that was my background. That's where we started the background of the stage. You understand? And the size was so small. I say, you need to put a little extra panel in the middle to make it full of the room now. It was just too small. And that's where we started. And that room was the conference room. And we went from there to where it is now. We have full LED panel lights and we are thing now.
And our OJT lights, man. And
OJT lights, man. Our OJT DJ, OJT... What again?
Man still OJT? That man OJT about a year and a half.
He talk about another DJ I feel, right?
Oh, that one is not even my OJT. So anyhow.
Right.
So and we've got 220 shows later. We took a little Christmas rest and stuff now. And we are kicking back in on January the 14th, which is a Friday, which is the launch of the Calypso tents.
Well, that's this Friday.
Well, you know what this thing going to
Yeah, so that was it, this Friday.
Right. So this Friday is the launch of the WAC Calypso Coliseum. We already have 6 Calypso tents lined up with us.
Wait. Sorry, so not artists. Tents, it's 6 tents, you say?
Yeah, but don't get tired of the term tent, okay? Because I have always had my eye on tweaking the tent experience, right? Always. I used to have this discussion with Resistance deceased long time. So we have an opportunity to tweak now. Because the tents, to me, and I could get bashed for this, and I could take my bash. the tents and them just have too much men singing who should be, some of the men who singing should be taking ticket by the gate. You understand?
The views of that we just expressed are the views of Kenny Phillips alone, and not the views of WAC 90.1 FM or Ricardo Mitchell and DJ Aaron 868.
You finished with the disclaimer?
Yes.
All right. No, and I included myself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You understand me?
Now, and you get 4 encore?
Well,
Yeah, 2 of them was of your own volition, I hear. But
my own volition. You get own volition, encore.
Yes.
I was begging. I didn't want to come back.
Just now, wait. And you have artists that has come and perform on the stage that is pull up, don't you?
True.
Right?
True.
No, man, you think, do.
No. What I'm saying is this. A lot of times people get position in Calypso tent, one because of seniority, because of who they know, and not about the song and the entertainment value. Too much times in the Calypso tent, you have to wade through a lot of bush before you get to pure song. Yeah, and I'm a tent purist as a Calypso tent man, right? We used to go auditions just to hear tune. You understand? That is one of the most fantastic experiences. I wish all you could get to see that as young fellas. The audition. Let me give you a little audition story. When I had my tune and I go in an audition, I went on audition everywhere because I wanted to practice the tune. So I went to audition I was at East Zone in a place called Spots Bar down by Larry Gomes, somewhere down there. Larry Gomes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When I pull up, and that day I was going to, at that audition, I was going to all the auditions, I'm driving to all. So I pull up in this audition, and now mind you, I'm nervous like hell. Pull up in this audition, pack up, and I see a fella outside cleaning, scrubbing the drain and thing. In a kind of boots with the pants roll up, and a workman, a yard man. Mm-hmm. So I say, brother man, where to go to sign up and thing? So there's in the car park and he washing down the drain and thing. The man follow the story where I painting the picture. He said, yeah, go outside, man. Yeah, man, so amazing. I'm like, okay. Okay. Follow the story, good, eh? Mm-hmm. So I realized, yeah, it was special. So no problem. He gave me the directions and the appointment. I go inside and I pay me $100 and I sign up and ting, and I sit down, nervous, waiting to go and sing my song. Now, mind you, I know my song was good, but I know I'm not a singer, I'm not a performer. I know it could be as a new thing to go on stage and actually do it. And no, this is auditions and I'm in Lyman drinking, So boom. Say, all right. 2 people and then you were. 1 person then you were. And the heart beating. Frightened. Say, all right. You next. Get the DJ the flash drive and boom. And I go on and sing my tune, man. Yeah. And the judge, one of the judges that's sitting in front of the table, the judge wheel the song. The judge say, pull, come again. And I'm like, what? What is this? That's what I was like, oh, okay. So right, the judge really sung and it went on good. It really went on good. Honest applause, ting, and I feel they said, all right, so you up next. And when I look at so was the man who was cleaning the garage outside in the same outfit up on the stage singing the same way how he talked to me. Listen to me. If you have never been in an audition for Calypso content. Make it your business to go. Because some of these sweetest songs that not good, you will hear. Because you will never hear them on the stage.
You'll never hear
it.
Next carnival when
things settle down.
Back, we'll go on.
No, it was amazing. Man. I watching this man and in the same outfit, you know.
His sobriquet was Rubber Boots, sir.
Rubber Boots.
I like how you went down the vein of Kaiso there, Kenny, because there's something which I myself have only now become a huge fan of. That's the genre of Kaiso. Right? I will admit it. And when I say a huge fan, I will just listen to Kaiso. Right? Now, the average Kaiso of yesteryear used to be, like, say, 7 or 8 minutes.
Sometimes 12.
Yeah, boy.
You really see some 10 and 12 minutes.
Yeah. Right? Now, they say that Kaiso does only come out for competition.
No. These days.
Right?
These days. Not back in the day. Back in the day, Kaiso used to come out because that's something to see. Kaiso was the message. You understand?
So
or fast Kaiso was to make your party, but Kaiso was the message. You had to sing something about somebody or something or some situation. And it was well written to the point where he's singing on Aaron and Aaron and all dancing, but he pong in Aaron. You understand me? That is how Kaiso was. We had to get back to that.
I'm not going to say how we going back to that.
I mean, shifting Kaiso from just being competition back to consumption then.
Yeah.
Right. Entertainment.
Entertainment. Yeah.
Because from the time you hear a song, they say, oh, good, you're going for the crown. And it's not about whether and the crown situation is corralled by the judges who judging you on syntax and all them big English fancy techniques and thing, you know, alliteration and puns and etc. and a rhyme and not about sweetness of song. You understand? How come we could remember a song that just foolish and we jumping up and dancing to it, and you can't remember the one that win the crown?
So the assessing characteristics versus the character.
Sometimes it's the character. There's no separation from, okay, hey, this song's sweet, boy. The lyrics are making no sense. But it's sweet. And then this one, this is such a big lyrics.
Properly written.
And you can't sing the melody.
As you talk about that, you know what comes to mind for me? The Mystic Prowler. Look beneath the surface.
Right. Yeah.
For me, one of the most well-written Kaisos I've come across. But, and I'll pose this question to you two gentlemen. Who won Soca Monarch in 2020?
2020?
Yeah.
Not Farm and Happy?
Wait, were you asking me?
That was 2021, Kenny.
Oh.
When we didn't have a Soca Monarch. And it was by voting.
Okay. So 2020, Soca Monarch,
College boy Jesse with Happy People.
That's groovy Soca Monarch.
Right.
It was just one.
It was groovy, and I think Iowa George and Kess would have won with Stage Gone Bad.
Right, okay.
Remember, you're supposed to remember that, huh?
I'm supposed to remember that, yeah.
Yeah, that song was wait, yeah, you had a hand in that piece.
Me?
Anyway. No. The gentleman who lives there, that every song, according to Kenny, had the name Stage in it. I will never forget that, you know.
Yeah. This a moment of transparency here. Prior to my growing relationship with WAC, I didn't understand our music, you know. I didn't understand what it is people were doing. But when you start hearing about things that have no historical record of otherwise, That's when you stop and you say to yourself, but wait a minute. We never move from that traditional oral history. We never move from it. We just stop paying attention to it. Mm-hmm. So music started meaning something different to me in that environment. And I thinking to myself, but wait, what about the man who don't listen to the station or not getting to be here for a couple hours and meet some of these people and hear some of these stories? I say sooner or later, we wouldn't know anything about it. We wouldn't know, and that is when the whole sense of cultural identity and them kinds of things start to mean something more to me, because I realize how much we have that we don't have access to, and the access that we have to it not encouraged.
We don't know how to get it. We don't know. It's not like there's a blueprint. Okay, you want to find Kaiso, go here. You want to find this kind of. We don't have no. Yeah, we have no order.
We don't have a system.
We have no order. Order.
You know what may help is that, like if on a streaming platform we had a genre called calypso or a genre called soca, instead of our music being listed as reggae.
Under reggae?
Yeah.
Caribbean / other.
I'm not going to say, but for that to happen, we would have to start to buy our music on these streaming platforms so that the powers that be would see that, Kenny Phillips music selling and it making money. Let me look into that and see how I could capitalize on that.
But tell me something. The reggae that we are under, do you think that the reggae got there on its own? The reggae had governments behind it.
I like how you're talking now, because you bring up a huge issue for me here, and you touched on it earlier when we went through the historical aspect. Personally, for me, the answer to this question is flat out no. Do you think on an institutional level enough is being done to preserve our culture? Now remember, my answer is no.
No, it's not. It's not. And it is no across many what's the word? Administrations. So it's just it's a that thing all they're doing there is not important to us as politicians. So all you keep doing all the thing there, we think. The only time I will come to you is if I need a song for election or I need but other than that, I need a little grassroots cred now.
And I'm going to say here now, and I think there's a perfect opportunity as I bring that up there. The Lamo. I don't know the words to the normal tune. All I could remember is the political one.
A comment.
I cannot remember the actual words to that song. All I know is I can't sing it, but you know what I'm doing. That's all I just remember.
Yeah. That was a hell of a thing. I did that song for the Lamo, and that song has spanned about 4 elections. You know that?
That's the election road march,
4 elections. But let me tell you something. With all of that, the party people and the powers that be spend a bag of money on some reggae and all kind of thing,
On Zest.
Zest.
Boy, have a anyway, right.
Anyhow, yeah. Let me stay focused.
But what about this brings me back to the point that skirted. But why would I encourage a format that might speak specifically to things I don't want people talking about?
Yeah, but if you have any level of honesty in you face your problems head on. Like you take your boy and you say, oh, this is what happening here. Okay, all right. Let me see how I can fix that. You take a criticism and you move on.
Right. Because we know that honesty and integrity are
pillars in our community. You know?
Dominant features of those who call to politics. Anyway, the man with business.
Part of the watchwords.
No, the watchwords, Aaron. What was your discipline, tolerance, production? Here for
subsidy.
The comment. Subsidy, and here for the comments.
And here for the comments, yeah.
All right.
Here for the comments.
Yeah.
Wow, you know my watchwords different. My watchwords is in spite of.
Correct.
That should be the national motto.
That should be it on the thing under the printer and the niner, under the boats.
Number one in the world.
Under the pirogues.
Yeah.
Success in spite of.
In spite of. Because we don't get this, we don't get that, but it has happened.
Yeah, boy.
It happened in spite of.
Join us for part 2 of this special interview next week in the living room. Up next, the big band with Mr. Desmond. Keep it locked.
And I'll just take this opportunity as we are closing off tonight to wish my mom a very happy birthday. We will be celebrating on Tuesday. Happy birthday, mommy.
Happy birthday, ma.
Happy birthday, moms. I know the disappointments.
Who up next? Somebody come and take over, please. Caption, switch the program. No, wait, Kenny, you'll switch it.